Welcome everyone, Farmer Cop here. This is going to be another harvesting rain test. I did a test to kind of harvest this field and test other crops as well to see if they would, you lose yield in the rain. So in general, you lose 50% of your yield in the rain if you're harvesting, wheat, barley, stuff like that. But this test is a little bit different. And I did say I'd do a different video on this. If you haven't checked out that other video, I'll put a card up on the screen right now. I'd recommend watching that one first. It gives you some background into what we're doing here. But now we're going to test it with swathing. So I have the MacDon pack installed with the swather here. So I'm going to go ahead and swath this. And then, of course, go behind it and pick it up with the pickup header here to see what we get for yield off of it. And then I'm going to document that. And then we're going to try to do both things in the rain. That's what we're going to try next. Now, I kind of have a little bit of a back and forth here. So I kind of need to do 3 tests. I need to do one test where both things are done not in the rain, and then another test where the swathing's done in the rain, but I harvest it not in the rain. Another test that's opposite, actually 4 tests actually. I need to do 4 different tests, so it's going to take me a while. But we're going to do one where there's no rain for the swathing or the picking up, one where there is rain for both the swathing and the picking up, and then 2 more tests. One will be there's rain for swathing but not for the pickup, and another one where there's no rain for the swathing but there is rain for the pickup. We'll see about that and see kind of how that affects it. So, yes, a few different kind of things that have to happen here. So, a lot of work. But anyhow, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it and get it rocking and rolling. So, yeah, I will run the tests and I'll bring you guys back in at the very end to kind of talk about it. But let's get this guy over here. Crop destruction should be off. Yep, it is. Perfect. That would have been awkward. It would have had to already load the save game back. But I'm going to try to hire a worker to do this. Yeah, do the headland first. So that's fine. One around. And again, it's going to take a while to do it. I don't know how he's going to go about that here in a second, but I can get ready to follow behind him. And if you don't know about swathing, I have a guide video on the channel out on swathing, so you want to go watch that if you want to learn about specifically swathing itself. So just be aware of that. But okay, let's go ahead and swing around here, lower this down, that rocking and rolling. We can start coming behind it. Now you do get a yield bonus for picking up the swath anyways, like just compared to regular harvesting. So you already get a yield bonus from that. And I'm not going to worry about the straw. I could check the straw values as well. I'm actually just not going to worry about the straw because I'm more focused on the swathing itself. What we've learned is the straw wasn't really affected with the rain anyway, so it wasn't like there was a difference there. So I'm not even going to bother testing the straw itself. I'm just going to focus on the swathing. So yeah, I'll run this test. I'll test it on wheat, and I'm going to assume it's going to work for all the crops. If you don't know this in terms of like the MacDon pack, these are the crops you can swath: wheat, barley, oats, canola, and soybeans. So I'm going to assume that the results are going to be the same regardless of the crop type in terms of like the percentages and the loss and everything like that. So that's kind of the assumption I'm going to be making. But anyhow, I'm going to keep getting to work here. I've got quite a bit of work to do running these tests, and I'll bring you guys back in at the very end to kind of go over the results. All right, the results are in, and honestly, they're not super surprising. So I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping that the rain would just not have an effect on it to give you another benefit to swathing. Obviously, with swathing, you get a increase in yield, which is great anyways. I believe it's 20% more, if I'm not mistaken, for swathing, 20% more. Correct me if I'm wrong. I did a video on it, and I know I tested that, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyhow, if I swathed this when it was dry, and then I picked it up, as in I used the harvester to collect it, when it was dry, I got 97,580 liters of wheat. Now, when I swathed it when it was dry, but harvested it or collected it when it was raining, I got about half of that at 48,773 liters. If I do 48,773 times 2, that gives us 97,546. So almost exactly half. Now, when I swathed this in the rain, and then I harvested it when it was dry, or not raining, I guess I should say, I got 97,583 liters. So pretty much the same as dry. Then, when I swathed it in the rain and then collected it in the rain, I also got half. I got 48,791 liters, so about half as well of the main. So basically, you can swath using this guy, rain or not, doesn't matter. This could happen whenever, which is kind of nice, to be fair. But when you go to use this guy right here to collect it off the field, you have to make sure it's not raining. It cannot be raining. That's the only thing you need to worry about. But anyhow, that's what I got for you guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button up on the screen to join the Farmer Cop channel and turn your notification bell so you don't miss any future videos I may post. This has been Farmer Cop. Thank you guys for coming and watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.